listening to 40 Weeks, a production of the Pregnancy Podcast with Vanessa Merton. Visit pregnancypodcast.com/week for all of the 40 Weeks resources and sign up with your due date to get each episode delivered to your inbox when you start a new week of your pregnancy. Thank you for tuning into the 40 Weeks podcast. Welcome to week 35. Only 5 weeks to go. See a picture of what your baby looks like this week, read the transcript, and access the additional resources for week 35 at pregnancypodcast.com/week 35. Your baby is growing from the size of a pineapple last week to as big as a spaghetti squash this week. Your baby measures 18.2 inches or 46.3 centimeters and weighs 5.7 pounds or 2.6 kilograms. Your baby continues to pack on the pounds. Back in the middle of your pregnancy, your baby's weight was only 2% body fat. At 35 weeks, it's closer to 15%, and it will keep increasing to about 30% at full term. Your baby has fully developed kidneys, and their liver can process some waste products. Most of their essential physical development is complete, and they're mostly putting on weight. Some excellent news for you this week. There's a great chance that your baby will have no complications if they're born at 35 weeks or later. Before you got pregnant, your uterus was tucked away inside your pelvis. At 35 weeks, your expanding uterus is now up under your rib cage. That means that it's crowding all of your internal organs, which is a big reason why you probably have to urinate more often. You may also have heartburn and other gastrointestinal issues. And if you're somehow not experiencing any of these symptoms, be thankful because you are one of the lucky few. Some airlines do not allow you to fly after 35 weeks. The biggest reason, of course, is they don't want you going into labor on an airplane. Although that would probably make for a good birth story, I'm sure you don't want that either. If you have not already started on your birth plan, now is the time to do that. A birth plan is your plan of how you envision your birth and what happens directly following the birth of your baby. This is so much more than a piece of paper that you hand to your doctor or midwife. The value in this is the process that you go through to prepare for the birth experience you want. This process will lay the foundation for preparing for the scenario in which everything goes as planned and what should happen if things do not. It's so important to understand that the value of a birth plan has a lot more to do with the process of creating it than it does with the finished product. The Pregnancy Podcast has several resources to help you create your birth plan. There's an episode that covers that topic. You can request a free copy of one of my birth plans. Although your preferences may be different, it can at least give you a sample of how one could be structured and worded. And there's also the Your Birth Plan book, which walks you step by step on everything you need to think about for planning your birth. There's sample plans for everything from a home birth to a planned cesarean, and there's a template you can download and customize to your own preferences. The Your Birth Plan book is free for Pregnancy Podcast Premium members. Links to all of these resources are at pregnancypodcast.com/week 35. A tip for dads and partners: make sure that you know the specifics of mom's birth plan. You can only advocate for her if you understand what she does and does not want. For example, if she wants an epidural as soon as she gets to the hospital, make sure that happens. If you two are planning an unmedicated labor, be supportive and ensure that no one is pushing pain medications if mom doesn't want them. So review the birth plan and make sure that you know it well. Thank you for tuning in to the 40 Weeks podcast. You can see the full transcript and all of the resources for this episode at pregnancypodcast.com/week 35. Next week, your baby's circulatory system is all in place. Until then, I wish you the very best in your pregnancy journey.